Hi, it's me, Jazzy. I'm back with another tech-related video, and today it's time for one we've not done for a little while. Yes, it's Temu Tech tool testing time, and it's a bumper one today because I haven't done one for a little while. So we got loads of Temu Tech goodies here to test. Good or bad, we're gonna find out. This is not a sponsored video by any means. It's just a bunch of stuff that I found on Temu that I've bought myself that I thought you may find interesting, and some of the good stuff you might be interested in, and some of the bad stuff, well, I'm testing it so you don't have to, but there's certainly a really interesting bunch of goodies in here. Let's get it over on the bench and see what we've got this time. Okay, so we've not done a Temu Tech for a while now, so we've got extra bumper crop to take a look at today. What goodies do we have in here? We have bags within bags. Wow, okay. Oh look, I see screwdrivers. Fantastic. And I see an empty packet. Quite worrying. Oh, I wonder if those have come out of it. Let's hope so. Now these are what I was waiting for from last time. My obsession with the knobbly screwdrivers. Now, some people said they weren't so keen on these, or they'd had issues with them or whatever. I quite like them in a weird way, and I do like a stubby screwdriver for getting inside of stuff where you can't always. Now, for some reason I have a fascination with these, because last time I bought these two, and previously I bought these two comedy length screwdrivers, because you've got to have your comedy length screwdrivers. So I'm gradually building up a set. I think every time I do a Temu order I seem to pick up some more of these knobbly screwdrivers. I think the brand was Welligoo. Yeah, Welligoo. I don't know where they get these names from, but anyway, those are the ones that I ordered previously. So I've just got these stubby ones that I've been waiting ages for. It's because I haven't done a Temu Tech Tools episode for a little while, so I've been waiting to open this so I can start using my stubby screwdrivers. Now, I've not had any issues. I use these all the time. You see me in videos using these all the time, and they still look pretty good. They're not all chewed up or anything, and I find them very useful. You can magnetize them. They stay magnetized quite a while, so they're pretty good. The comedy length ones are great for getting in stuff like Amstrad word processors and big old television cabinets and stuff where you need to get into. So yeah, knobbly screwdrivers. I really do like those. Right, we're off to a flying start with this episode of Temu Tech. So we seem to have a bag within a bag, so that was just containing the stubby screwdrivers. All right, they just like me to open more bags. It's kind of like pass the parcel, isn't it? But Temu style. So what have we got? We've got a digital multimeter. Apparently I've bought a digital multimeter. Is this the one that talks to me? I've bought one that actually talks to me. Let's have a look at this. This is an Aneng M109. I remember buying one that it said it talks to you, and I thought what we need is a talking multimeter, isn't it? Oh, it's quite small. It's quite a lot of instructions. Okay. What have we got? Oh wow, smart voice broadcast. Yeah, this is the multimeter that talks to you. Now, I don't know how this is going to work out, but this is going to be quite fun finding out. Does it give me anything to go on here? So it does DC and AC voltage, resistance, continuity, non-contact voltage, capacitance, test for current, test for frequency. It's got the specifications on there. The broadcast may not be triggered if the value is unstable. So does it just talk to you straight off the bat, or do I have to press something? Well, let's find out, shall we? Shrink wrapped for freshness, this one. Nothing worse than a stale multimeter, is there? Okay, right, well, do you know what? It doesn't feel quite as much like a toy as some of the Temu multimeters we've done. I'm not sure what that's for on there. Oh, that's maybe the sensor for the non-contact voltage. You've got a place to put your probes, and you've got a stand on the back, which actually does stay shut, hopefully. Yeah, do you know, it's actually not bad. I didn't pay a lot of money for this. I'll put the prices on the screen as I go, because I cannot remember what I paid for any of this stuff, and I'm probably going to regret some of this. Now what they've done is they've made it look like it's got lots of buttons, but these are not buttons, these are just stickers. So you've got 3 buttons here, and you've got an on and off, and you've got your probes go there, and that's it. And I presume there's a torch on the top. It just basically looks like it's got a light bulb stuck in the top of it. Let's get some batteries in this, I'm intrigued. Alright, as it's Temu Tech time, let's use a Temu screwdriver to undo the screw in the back there. Now what batteries does this take? Now I wonder if it's going to be like the speaking clock. I never know what... What? It's already on.
It's about to enter steady state.
I was about to say, I never know what to expect with Temu Tech items. This is either going to be genius or it's going to be really terrible, and I'm going to regret buying this. This is the great thing, viewers. I'm testing these so you don't have to. So if it turns out to be really terrible, you don't need to get one for yourself. Right. Now what do we got?
Already on.
I think she's saying on radio. I'm not sure. So what do I do now? It's on auto. Let's try a resistor. Go on.
Resistance measurement 4.64 thousand ohm.
Right. Over range. That's not going to get old real quick, is it? Now, I'm not sure that it's a great idea to have a multimeter that you can have a conversation with. It's actually quite a nice little form factor, apart from the fake buttons there.
Resistance measurement 0.990 thousand ohm. Diode measurement.
Diode, good. Let's try a diode then. I've got some diodes here.
Diode measurement 0.264 volt. Capacitance measurement 257.790 farad.
Well, it's doing it. Let's try my 10,000 microfarad test.
Capacitance measurement 9.29 millifarad.
I've got to give her due. She knows her capacitance. I'm not sure if you can turn the voice off, or whether you would want to, or whether you would get used to it.
Frequency measurement.
Frequency measurement. Okay, I'll give you some frequency.
Frequency measurement 2 million hertz.
2 million hertz. Wow. Okay. Well, this certainly hurts. It's quite accurate. I mean, all cheap multimeters are these days.
DC voltage measurement 9.77 volt.
Not sure what that is.
Lighting on.
Lighting on. So that lights up the screen, and you've got a little torch on the top there. Look at that.
Lighting off.
That's absolutely useless. You wouldn't be able to use that to test continuity, would you? Wow. That's not great.
Orange.
If you want a multimeter that's going to talk to you, you can have a conversation with your multimeter.
Orange.
Then this is the one for you, clearly.
It's about to enter steady state.
Talking multimeters. Whatever next? Right, what's next? We've got a little packet here. Let's have a look at that. What we've got in here. Let's have a look. Right, now I bought this on the strength of the listing on Temu. It claims this screwdriver is awesome. Something along those lines. I mean, I'm not overly convinced that handle is nasty cheap plastic. So the premise here is you have to pull that collar down, and then that just sits in there. I mean, they're all right, and you can obviously adjust the length, but that's the shortest you can go on it. Yeah, because it's got that hole through it there, but it's not what I'd call particularly comfortable handle to hold. Let's try undoing a screw with it. Yeah, I mean, it does the job. It's not very nice to hold though. Yeah, I don't think I really need to say any more about this one other than the bold claims on the advert were a little bit excessive, but it has got some really useful bits on there, like these security bits and stuff, which would probably fit in most sort of screwdriver handles. This would be improved if it had a much better grip on it. That handle is horrible to hold. I am not loving that at all. The most useful thing here is going to be these bits, I think, because there's some very useful ones. Oh, and we've got the 3. Do you know, I needed one of those the other day. So these will actually come in useful. The handle, nah, not keen on that. Not impressed with that at all. What else have we got in here then? I can never remember what on earth I've got. It's part of the fun, isn't it? I mean, how are you going to beat a talking multimeter? This is like a little PWM square wave generator. It says frequency meter on the front, but it does actually generate a square wave. It looks pretty simple to hook up. Right, let me grab some test leads. Let's have a little go with this. Okay, so quick lash up time then. So I've got power going in here. It's really easy to hook this up. I've got it set to 5 volts. It will run on anything from 3.3 volts to 30 volts apparently. And it'll put out a square wave, anything from 1 hertz to 150 kilohertz, and it can obviously change the duty and the frequency of the square wave. So you could use this just for testing purposes, or you could use it for controlling something. It's got multiple uses. It's actually quite a sensible item to be on one of my Temu mailbags. So let's switch on the power. There we go. So it's putting out 1.09, 50% duty. Okay, so all I've done here is I've got the signal going into my scope probe, and I've got the earth clipped onto my scope probe earth. So you can see we've actually got a rather nice square wave there, and we're on 2 volts per division there. So we're getting about 5 volts there, peak to peak, and that's because we're putting in 5 volts. So if I vary my power supply, bearing in mind this runs on anything from 3.3 volts to 30 volts, which is crazy. So if I increase, you can see there, so that's giving it 6 volts there. I could take it down to 4. You can see that. So you can run that off multiple voltages. So you can adjust your duty cycle up and down there. So you can adjust your pulse. So you can use this to put out a square wave for testing purposes, or you could use it to control something. Fan controller maybe? Don't know, not sure. But it's got multiple uses. It's quite handy if you want to control something PWM style. You can adjust your frequency there up and down. And if you hold your finger on the button, it goes faster. So yeah, it's actually quite a nice little thing, and it's really, really cheap from Temu. And it's probably too sensible to be in one of my Temu mailbags, to be honest. But it just goes to show, if you shop carefully on Temu, you can pick up some really cool stuff. Pretty useful, hey? Right, what's next? What else is in the bag of goodness? I've got fuses. Fuses are always useful. So we've got 0.2, 0.5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, 15 and 20. Alright, these are all 20mm fuses. Again, very cheap, always handy to have some spare glass fuses. I didn't notice this at first because the sticker was over the top of it, but it's got your 0.2 amp to 20 amp, 250 volt glass insurance tube, roughly literally translated as a fuse then, is it? What else have we got? A couple of little doohickeys and another packet, and I think that's it for the first bag. Right, now I know what these are. I've been wanting to try these for a little while now, and they're magnetic test probes. So you could actually, if you wanted to test something and you didn't have the right connection, you can just magnet onto it. This would be quite useful. Sometimes I have to make up all sorts of Heath Robinson concoctions with things like croc clips and bits of wire and stuff. They're meant for going on electrical switches and stuff in fuse boxes, but you could actually use them if you wanted to test something or check something that you haven't got necessarily the right connection for, as long as the connection you're testing is magnetic. So what we could do with these is check the resistance. I mean, they look all right. They look perfectly good. I think they could be quite useful, but like, how are they like resistance wise? Let's have a look. Now, what have I got on my test leads? Okay, let me just rel out my test leads. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Let's have a look then. What we've got. Plug that into that. Let's just magnet this on then. I think it depends on how good a connection you've got. Because if I press that on there, no, that's pressed firmly on. I'm still getting 2.5, 2.6. So if I press it against the side of the lead there, we've got slightly more surface contact, so it's slightly better. But then, yeah, if I let go and we're just relying on the magneticness, yeah, we're about 2.6. Is it consistent with the black one? Oh, the black one's actually better. Okay. Any reason for this? I know they're a bit all over the place. I think it depends how well you've magneted it and what you've magneted it onto. But there's some use cases for this. If you're gonna, you remember when we did the test on the Omnifixo for resistance? Well, you could, if you've got magnetic clips, it's doing the job. Well, anyway, that's the magnetic test clips. I just thought they might be a bit useful. What we got in here. All sorts of goodies this time. This is a kit. Right, okay, now I got this. This was very, very cheap, and it is a Bluetooth boombox. Now, I know I did a Bluetooth boombox ages and ages ago. It was an Amazon one. It was a bit different to this. So I get asked quite a lot, can I take a look at some other Bluetooth boombox kits? Because people enjoyed building the last one, and it's one of my most popular videos. And I saw this on Temu and I thought, well, you know what, let's go for it. This is a Bluetooth speaker making kit. Again, very cheap, comes with all your cables. Look, you've got some 3.5mm jacks in there, you've got some USB cables, all your components, a little board and some assembly steps there. And you've also got the case. Similar to last time, this is only a single speaker. The last one I did was a double speaker, and a lot of people found the video quite useful because the instructions with the other kit were really, really bad, and there was some steps missing out of them. So I did say that I would do another Bluetooth boombox kit that people can enjoy putting together and is a bit different from the other one. And we can find some interesting ways of testing it. We didn't really do any testing with the last one. I just built it and put some music in and I was happy it worked. So I think we could do maybe a little bit more testing with it this time. So that's a nice little kit there that I can build in a future episode. So Bluetooth Boombox Mark II, Temu style. So that's that. In the other packet here, I have got 2 multimeters. Now, we've looked at one that talks. We've got, I'm going to save the best for last. I'm actually going to save the best. It might be the best, it might be the worst. Right, this one is an Aneng multimeter. Now, you might remember the multimeter alarm clock that wakes you up, this one. which I did in a Temu Tech video ages ago, and it created quite a lot of interest. And it is indeed a multimeter that wakes you up in the morning, but it was also quite a good multimeter. And the only thing I hated about this one was the nasty little plastic wheel that you can barely get hold of. This is the updated version. See, no nasty little wheel and much bigger screen. Now, this also has a clock, a calendar and a wake up alarm. Also has a high growth thermograph, so it can also tell your humidity, which is what you want from a multimeter, isn't it? Does all the usual stuff: AC/DC current, milliampere AC/DC current, diode, hertz, AC/DC volts, resistance, capacitance, resistance, beep. It's an intelligent 3-in-1 multifunction multimeter, real-time hydrothermograph, calendar and clock. Of course, they're all things that go together, aren't they? I love the great thing with buying multimeters off of Temu. You literally just don't know. Now, I'm not saying that any of these are serious multimeters, that they could be a contender for your everyday multimeter, but you have to admit it's a bit of fun. So we've got an operator's manual here for the owner operator of the digital alarm clock multimeter. Looks a lot like the instruction manual for the talking multimeter. I think they're pretty generic, aren't they? Right, okay, it does tell you how to set the calendar and stuff. Now, from one thing I did glean though, this one has buttons on the back here that don't do anything. This one has buttons that do. This is definitely an upgrade from this one, I think, but the shell looks the same. The shell is much the same, but a much bigger screen, a huge screen in comparison. Let's crack this open and have a look. See, why have a multimeter that's just a multimeter when you can have a multimeter that's also tells you the time of the day, it wakes you up and tells you what your humidity is? At least it doesn't talk to you like the other one. Believe we need some batteries for this, do we? AAA's. We got a beep. We got a beep. Oh, look, that's a pretty big screen, isn't it? Auto. Okay, so it's giving me the date down there, the time, which is obviously everything's wrong. It gives me the temperature. And we got a 60% humidity, apparently. So we've got hold or light. Okay, so you've got a light on there. Got a light anywhere else? No. Just lights up the screen if you're using it in the dark. That's hold. You've got hold there. Select. Oh, so this takes you through your ranges. So you've got DC current, AC current, auto mode, DC volts, AC volts, resistance, continuity, diode, capacitance mode, frequency, and back to current again if you hold it down. Ah, that turns it off. Okay. How do you turn it on then? Ah, so you have to hold down off. So you have to hold down off to turn it on. Great. I love these really cheap multimeters. So much fun. It's just endless amount of fun, isn't it? So it will do all your regular measurements. I'm sure we don't need to test all these because it's going to be pretty much the same as it is on this one. It's just the upgraded interface, which actually I really prefer. All I'm interested in really is how quickly does it react. Not bad. And it's a massive display, isn't it? You couldn't miss that. Okay, quite quick. Oh, it's a lot better than the talking multimeter. I'd rather have this. It's a bigger display and it doesn't talk to me. Diode. These are all going to be much of a muchness, aren't they, these cheap multimeters? But yeah, it does do diode mode. There's your forward voltage, 0.262 volts. Yeah, so yeah, diode mode works out nice. Capacitance mode, okay, 10,000 microfarad test. Slow. It's thinking. No, Yes, yes it will. I didn't think it was going to do it. Yes, it does. There you go, 9.12 millifarads. All right, fine. Great. I don't need to test frequency and stuff. I know it's going to be absolutely fine. Quick DC volts test then. I'm sure this one's going to be absolutely fine. Let's compare it with the previous model, the 612. This is the 613 here. And let's go for 10 volts, roughly. 9.90. Yeah, they're going to be pretty good, aren't they? Let's go 15. What I was interested in is to see whether the improved model is actually any faster, and I think it is ever so slightly, isn't it? Yeah, it's ever so slightly quicker, not by much. Yeah, hardly anything in it really. Okay, but what I will say is I really love the big display on there. I think that big display is excellent. I love that. So from a fairly gimmicky multimeter, actually, I think it's really useful because I love the big display. And when I did the test on this one before, expecting it to be rubbish, it was actually really good. The only thing I didn't like was this. With this one, you haven't got to deal with the little wheelie thing. You just select your function up the top there. Yeah, I actually quite like it. It's really cheap and as just something to slip in your bag. I mean, if you go out to do some tests and you haven't got your glasses with you, you have no problems with that, are you? I get these Temu meters fully expecting to have to rubbish them, and actually a lot of them are not bad. At least this one you don't have to have a conversation with. Ha! Right, we got one more to test yet. Now, this one I saved the best for last because this is a wrist-worn auto-range smart digital multimeter. Yes, it's a Multimeter Watch. I'm not even kidding. It's a multimeter that's a watch, or a watch that's a multimeter. Why would you not need a multimeter that's a watch? This is fantastic. Components. It looks like a smartwatch. Kind of big smartwatch. Charge interface, USB charging, wrist strap, data hold key and backlight key. Now it doesn't do a lot of functions, this one. I think it literally just does AC and DC volts, AC and DC millivolts. It's got a hold function, it's got a torch, does resistance and continuity. Pretty basic then, but this is not exactly an Apple Watch, is it? Any accessories? Oh, we do get a charge cable, at least that's something. And some instructions. Okay. Okay, so it tells you this is a wristband style multimeter with 5999 counts. Powered by rechargeable lithium battery. Stable performance. Well, it's doing better than me. The meter will display the content by automatically identifying the measured object. You can also select the function button to switch functions. So you can manually switch it or you can auto range it. There's your specs for it. There you go. If you want to read the specs, you can pause that. Lovely. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail because these are only fun tests. It's got a peel on it though. Let's have that off straight away. Oh. Was that it? I don't know, maybe it's a screen protector, is it? I don't know. Right, let's see. What does it do? That's it, is it? I don't really know what I was expecting from it. Now, the one thing from the advert that I couldn't work out is when you've got this on your wrist, what do you do with these? There's nowhere to put them. And that doesn't come out. That's fixed. So that's fixed in place. This all looks a bit homemade, doesn't it? It does say somewhere in the blurb I read that that's fixed in place, but like, what are you supposed to do with these? Straight away I can see I'm gonna have multiple issues with this thing. Wow, it wouldn't do you if you were in a hurry to do your testing, would it? Right, okay, so I feel like super cool now, like secret agent time. I can talk into this and call my secret operatives, can I? So Special Agent Jazzy reporting for testing purposes. So we can go, here we are, DC volts, AC volts, millivolts or auto. And you've got a light if you're working in a dark cupboard, that's useful. With your wristwatch multimeter, nice. Feels stylish, but still, like, what do you do with these? There is nowhere to put them. There's no like convenient holder or anything. You'd end up stabbing yourself with it, wouldn't you? You'd be reading your own continuity. So how do you do the continuity then? Oh, it does it automatically, but it's not very fast. You can't do the touch test. It won't do the touch test. Takes a minute. It would get there. Does it have an actual use case scenario? If you need to do some measurements and you've got your hands full, I guess, but you still got to deal with the probes. I don't know. I mean, it's quite bulky and this strap is not very good. I don't rate the strap at all. So we know it does resistance. So we've tried continuity, so let's try resistance. It kind of has limited functionality, this, doesn't it? All right. I mean, it's not horrendous, is it? You have to be like super careful. Like, I can't, from a safety perspective, I cannot recommend putting voltage into something that's on your wrist. I'm doing this for science. 5 volts. Auto. 5 volts. Yeah, brilliant. And I haven't had a shock from it. It does work. And it's actually reasonably accurate. I do not recommend putting DC volts or AC volts or current into something that's around your wrist. I just can't recommend that. I'm sure there's got to be some health and safety thing against this. I don't know. As a basic multimeter, what we might be able to do is make it into something. I don't know. I mean, it's a unique thing, isn't it? So there you go, the multimeter that you wear on your wrist. It does do the job. So there you go, you got multimeters that can talk to you, wake you up, or you can wear on your wrist. Brilliant. Whole world's gone mad. See, this is why I love a good Temu Tech time. You never know what you're going to get. Multimeters that talk to you and multimeters you can wear on your wrist. Whatever next? Where's the multimeter that can make me a cup of coffee? That's what I want to know. We've had some surprisingly good stuff this time. I really like this little multimeter with the wake up alarm and the hygrometer. I love the big screen on it and it's really easy to use. So it's quite a handy little thing to slip in your bag. So some things that you think are going to be more of a novelty actually turn out to be quite useful. And then we had some quite sensible things like this little frequency square wave generator, PWM. That's actually quite a useful thing. See, sometimes I buy useful things from Temu. We've also got the Bluetooth Boombox Kit, don't forget, so that's going to be coming up in a future episode. I'll sit there and build that with you because I know you all really enjoyed the last Bluetooth Boombox that I did. So what do you reckon? What was your favourite from this Temu haul? Was it one of the novelty products or was it something more useful that you can actually make good use of? I find it great fun testing all of these, and remember, I test them so you don't have to. So you get to see what's good and what's not before you actually buy it yourself. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Temu Tech Tool Time. I certainly have. I never know quite what to expect because I can never remember what I've ordered. So as always, massive thanks to everyone for watching, sharing, liking and subscribing. If you want to go ahead and hit the subscribe button, it's always massively appreciated and helps me to support the channel. So I'll be back soon with some more tech related videos, but in the meantime, take care and I'll see you on the next one.